Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. So thank you guys so much for watching this series as I edit Survivor and got it ready for publication. As you can see it behind me, I always like to show you guys the real reality of, you know, the process of writing and editing, and sometimes it isn't always easy. And in order for it to be this wonderful, thrilling, exciting book that it is today, Survivor but Deadly meets the Hunger Games, with an epic fantasy twist, multicast of characters, no spice, romantic subplots, all of that. It takes process, it takes work, it takes effort, and I wasn't always into it, and I dreaded it really badly, but my editor and I worked together. She helped push me and this story, and I was able to add 80,000 words in it and completely change it and rewrite it and make it the book that you see before you. It is available for pre-order on Amazon right now in ebook form, and it's coming out in November, so be sure to grab your copy and pre-order it now. I'll have a link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, so it's day 11 of editing Survivor, and it's January 11th. It's 10:26, and I got started at 9 o'clock. It's Saturday, so Saturdays are my busy nights, so I wrote and sent off both my newsletters and did all that stuff. I had to also make sure that I shared the book promos to get my clicks up and stuff. So usually that takes me a long time, but I got started pretty quickly, and I was finishing that up by 9, which means I got started editing Survivor at 9, and it's now 10:27, and I finished. So I can't breathe. So I did chapter 8, which was from page 58, so the back of this page. So page 58 to 63. So it was actually not that long, which was a good thing. And I did go back and edit the scene that I added to chapter 8, and I also wrote another one that was, let me see, 346 words long. I added another scene, and then I added 63 words to another scene, so I kept track of that. And now that I'm finished with chapter 8, I also went over, reviewed my notes for this chapter that I typed up based on our recordings, and then I adjusted the numbers for the chapters since they're all off, and there was nothing big to change in this one, just a few things that she had put, nothing big that we discussed over the recordings. Everything was in the document and stuff. So it's 10:30, so my main thing now is figuring out if I need to add more or not, and what I want to do as a plot here. Yeah, so I kind of resolved the first I kind of like, I don't know how to explain it without spoiling things, but basically the scenes that I added, I kind of like fixed all of that, did the things, and then I don't know what to add, essentially is where I'm going with that. I don't know if it needs any more. So on the one hand, I'm not inspired, and typically if God doesn't inspire me, that means that it's not meant for me to write anything more. I already have added a scene to this one yesterday and then today as well, which kind of followed up with all of that stuff. So on the other hand, it may not need anything, and so it may not need it, and it could be fine as it is. But on the other hand, I am trying to add more to the story to strengthen all these other characters. So but on the other hand, I don't know, I don't have anything. So yeah, so this is what I edited. I'm still trying to decide. Basically it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, but the back of that is the next chapter. So the next chapter after that is chapter 9, which I did section off. So this one's a very long one. So the fact that it's long already, it looks like it's going to be at least one challenge, if not more. And the other thing is it's long, which concerns me if I'm going to need to, and I know I'm going to need to add more to it, to that one. So yeah, I don't know. So essentially I'm just trying to decide if I need to add more or not. It is 10:30, so it'd be nice to have an hour of free time to actually work on some other stuff. But I did get a chapter edited, so now it's just about me deciding whether I'm going to write more or not. And I haven't really decided that yet, so if I change my mind, I will let you guys know. But if not, I will check with you guys next time, and I'm just going to leave it like that. So yeah. And I'm going to, I got to log everything. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to log everything. I'm going to save chapter 8 to the document, the whole chapter 8, including all the new stuff. So I'm going to do that. I'm also going to get the progress sheet and log everything. I also forgot, I think I've been forgetting to log it in the graph, so we'll do that as well. So it looks like, oh, if you look here, January 11th, chapter 8 was 5,025 words. So of that, 409 was the new words that I added. And 346 of that was the new scene, which also this total does include the 1303 that I added in chapter 8, which I did log there, but I still edited it. And so what I did was, even though I totaled this when I added that scene to chapter 8, I took the total for chapter 7, so I took 51,441 and added it to the 525, which, since this does include that 1303. So basically what I'm trying to say is the new word count that I've reached is 56,466 words. I finished chapter 8 today, and it was day 11 of editing the book. So that is the first progress sheet. I'm going to do the other one real quick because I've been forgetting to log that one. Sorry. Okay, so I did have the chapter adjustment number thing to contend with, but I did here, so it's all good. So that's what it looks like now. So I'm still ahead of what I predicted, which is super exciting. So I did that. Okay, I'm gonna stick the 7 and 62. So yeah, it goes like this. So I'm gonna stick this in here. Sorry, it's very picky. So it slides in just like that, and that's what I've edited so far, which is a lot of progress, so yay. So we got this to log real quick. Okay. Oh, I forgot to check that. Okay, so we got that. Okay, so we have done blue, purple, pink, red, green, yellow, turquoise / teal. We've done black, which looks like a leather book. And we did brown. We did purple already, yes. Have we done, okay, we did. I'm trying to find what color I want to use. It's going to fall. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna see what this jade green looks like for chapter 8. Okay, it's a slightly different green. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to get that to clear for you guys. Okay. I dropped some. Yay! Alright. I love it. Oops. Sorry about that. So yeah, I'm gonna put these back in place at the front. By the way, these extra papers are notes to myself about the characters and which characters need more, and it kind of helps me stay focused, so I always have that visible, but I'm not showing you guys because that would kind of spoil the ones that are done well and the ones that, you know, make it through the competition and stuff. Not necessarily that, but like you would be able to deduce basically if you saw the names of the ones I need to work on. So essentially I don't ever show you guys that, but I keep the bookshelf, and then these are just blank papers in case I need to map anything out again. So I just stick that on the front of the document. So that's been day 11. If I decide to write more, I will check in with you guys later and point that out and obviously tell you guys about it. If not, then I guess I will see you guys tomorrow and stuff. So I'm kind of stressing a little bit because I'm blank on ideas for the characters that I've been very inspired for. So like the other day when I wrote 7,000 words, it wasn't just those particular characters, it was a bunch of them. But there have been specifically 2 new characters that I've introduced that I genuinely love, and I'm starting to love them so much, more than the other ones in the book, which is saying a lot. But because of everything, I kind of had to sort of resolve some of the stuff that I'd already started to set up in the new writing, because the other book doesn't have that included and stuff, and so I could have continued that plot thread, but it made sense to kind of round it out a little bit, and so now I'm kind of blank on ideas, and I don't know what to do, and it's stressing me out, and I don't know if I'm just blank right now because chapter 8 doesn't need to have any more to it, and then maybe I'll be more inspired for chapter 9, or if I'm blank because I'm blank and therefore I should panic. I don't know. So that's kind of where I'm at. But as for the actual act of editing, I'm actually into it, and I sat right down. Like, I was actually found the newsletter's tedious, which I always do every week, but it's kind of a necessity, because what little sales I do get do come from that and the book promos on BookFunnel. So I use that. But so for me, that was the tedious part, and I was trying to get to that and get it done so that I could sit and edit. So I was actually excited to sit and edit. And then, like I said, I still wrote 400 words today, which added, but most of that, the stuff that needed to be added to the chapter was already added yesterday. And again, I edited the whole thing in context, so it kind of works, and that's why I added the extra 400 words, was to kind of round that out. And it works really well. But again, I don't know if I'm just blank because of right now it doesn't need any more, and we'll pick up in the next chapter, or if I'm blank because I'm blank and therefore I need to actually figure something out. But anyways, I'm babbling. I will check in with you guys next time. So it's still the same day of editing Survivor, and I still haven't written, and I've chosen not to, but I figured out what my problem was with going forward, so I wanted to talk to you guys about that. I was getting ready to film a short video for social media. So if you don't want, like, I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you're the kind of person that you want to go in totally blind reading a book and you don't want to know literally anything at all, then I would click away, but I'm not going to spoil anything. But again, some people just want to, I'm like that too, where I don't want to know any details. I just want to go into a book blind. So here we go. And I'll have a thing here to skip to and all that stuff. So basically my problem is, imagine a competition like the TV show Survivor. If you've heard of the TV show Endurance, which was on Nickelodeon, so it's like Survivor for teenagers. That was kind of what this is based off of. But just imagine any reality TV show competition, but like a fantasy version of it, where if you lose, you die. Essentially, like Beast Games is going on right now. You've probably heard of Squid Games. I haven't watched it, but I'm assuming it's pretty similar to this. So here's the thing. The book's already written, and so I already have everything that happens. I know who wins, I know who loses, I know who dies, I know who survives. I know all of those details, right? Because I'm the author. But along that way, I'm needing to add more scenes for certain characters to give them more screen time and to really bulk the book out and add more to it. And so these characters that I'm currently working with most of the time when I write, as I said the other day when I wrote 7,000 words, I added a lot more than just with those 2 characters, but with those particular characters, I mean. But I am falling in love with these characters, but my problem is that for certain characters, I have the game structured a certain way, and so, like, with anything that I add, the game is already decided. I know, okay, this person wins this competition, and I know this person loses this one, and this thing happens to that particular team because they lose, and this team is eliminated at this point, and the plot points and the competition focus on certain teams, and therefore I can add things, and I have added things happening to certain teams and characters in the competition. However, the competition itself, the outcomes have already been decided and have nothing to do with some of the characters that I'm working with, and that makes it difficult because then it doesn't have a direct impact on them or vice versa. You see what I'm saying? And so that's creating a situation where I'm either going to leave it like it is and just find plot lines in and around that to still make a big impact on the competition and the teams and the characters that I wanted to impact, or literally rewrite some of the details to where I do change things with the competition and the teams and who wins and loses and all that stuff for certain plot points. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I genuinely don't know what to do. I do think that I feel at peace with chapter 8. I feel like it's got everything it needs. What I added, the 1303 I added yesterday, and then the 400 and some odd words that I added today add chapter 8. So chapter 8 is now complete. So it's kind of just going forward, trying to decide what to do. So that's all I'm going to talk about. I have to do social media and my phone. I only have 58 minutes of recording time left, so we got to empty out my phone as well, and it's already 11 o'clock, and I eat at 11:30 for dinner, so I will check with you guys next time. I just wanted to fill you guys in on what my dilemma was. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more writing or reading videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And in the meantime, if you enjoyed watching this episode and want to keep watching, then check out the next episode. It'll be here.